Hello, welcome to First Friday Lunch. My name is Tina Holland, and today I'm going to be talking about my Nano project and how I basically handle Nano from year to year. I actually won't be officially participating in Nano this year, which I haven't for many years. I very rarely finish the 50,000 words, but I take November as an opportunity to go ahead and start a project. And I've picked one this year. If you tuned in last month to First Friday Lunch, you know that I had a choice between either working on the next series in my Regency, which was My Fair Lord, or I was going to work on the next book in my steampunk series. And that book and the Nano Project is Curse in the Caravan. One of the reasons I picked Curse in the Caravan is because I'd already started doing some groundwork. Like, the world has already been built. It's more in depth than the Regency series. The other thing is the Regency series, I was hoping to get it picked up by a publisher or an agent, and that didn't happen while I was doing pitches in October. So I went ahead and I decided I'm going to work on the next book in my series and get it out into the world as far as the Curse in the Caravan. Two reasons that I won't be doing it officially is because I've already kind of started work on this, besides pre-work. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see. Excuse me. All right. There we go. Share. And I'm going to go like that. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Oh. Okay, so I'd already started work on this. I'd already started, like, I must have had an idea in my head and went ahead and started the series off. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm like, oh, I've actually written a little bit on this. So I went ahead and I had already started it. I think, yeah, so I'd already started thinking about this book back in November 1st, 2018. So that was kind of a while ago. So I'd already started it. And I had a book that I'd already, I guess I'm going to close that. And then we'll see if we can end up back here. Okay, get back to StreamYard to go ahead and do the thing. So the next thing is I had already had a book that I start these notebooks whenever I write, and I've already written like some pages in here even. So that was already started as well. As a matter of fact, the page that I just showed you with in Word may have actually come out of here. Oh, nope, it doesn't look like it. So, but I've already started, like, there's a character profile that I'd already started. My heroine's name is Emma Flanagan, and I haven't named my hero yet, but I'd also started doing some stuff on Pinterest with this, which I will show you as well, where I had kind of started playing around with the world. And since a lot of this is an extension of my steampunk world of books that I had already written, then I thought, well, this will be easy to go ahead and look at that. So yeah, so this is like the kind of the board stuff that I've created for it so that I can kind of knew who my characters were. Yeah, so this is actually, I'm basing my hero on Clive Standen, and I'm basing my heroine on this actress whose name is, like, why can't I remember? Kate Beckinsale. So I went ahead and this is, yeah, Clive Standen's going to be my hero. Kate Beckinsale is going to be my heroine. So I went ahead and I kind of grabbed some images that I liked. There's some other characters in here as well that I've kind of moved forward. So to use. And so I haven't built this board up like a lot. But yeah, I started it a long time ago. So I'll be adding to that. I find that when I write, especially setting, I find it helpful to have a visual of what things look like. So I did write down like people's eye colors and that sort of thing in my notebook. So that's like how I'm going to handle that piece of it, of basically getting a visual application. So a lot of people did Pinterest during did Pinterest boards prepping for Nano. That was not an uncommon thing. The other thing is I also keep track of, I don't think that I have it here, but I also keep track of how many actually, okay, so if you guys have any questions, I see nobody's tuned in yet, which is totally fine. If this ends up being 20 minutes, that's totally fine. So the other thing I do is I'll track my word count, and I do track it in a notebook as well as I use an Excel spreadsheet for my daily word count. And I won't be participating in Nano. Like, I haven't started writing on November 1st. I'll probably write throughout, but I really want to finish my short story wind resistant to give to book boutiques so that I can finish that, because that's about, I'd say that's like 90% done. I have like 2 or 3 more scenes that I have to do, then I have to edit it and do that. So I'm going to be kind of working on that as well as working on Curse in the Caravan, just to have some momentum going. And I may table my Regency, The Widow Spy. Boy, that poor book has been renamed so many times, but the first book is called The Widow Spy. The second book is called My Fair Lord. And then I haven't figured out which characters I'm going to do next, but I have like some publishers that I'm looking at. It's the first book is just hitting novel length, like very short novel length. And so I need to do some editing on that, but I probably won't pitch it again until February. I may table it and work on editing with my critique group and those sorts of things, and then go ahead and pitch it after the first of the year, just to take the pressure off about that book. So I think there's some pitch fests that I don't think, there might be one in December, but I don't think so. If there are any, I will go ahead and pitch it and see if anybody picks it up. But until then, I'm going to finish up Wind Resistant, and then I'm going to start Curse in the Caravan as part of my Nano project. But that may, these steampunks tend to be very long. I mean, they tend to hit, I shouldn't say long because they're only at like the 50,000 word count, but that works fine for book boutiques. So I want to go ahead and get those in there as well. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and write down my page or my word count for the day. And when I hit 1,000 words, I will add a sticker in there. I think I'm on the owl stickers. Nope, I'm still on the heart stickers. So I have these owl stickers I've been dying to use, but I really haven't been writing a whole lot. So I'll put these little heart stickers in whenever I hit 1,000 words to kind of help me keep track. And so now there are so many write-ins available, even though I haven't got a formal Nano project. It should be good that I can get a lot of writing in. So I can go ahead and finish up Wind Resistant, go ahead and start Nano, and then really work on these 2 things. So I'm also going to share with you really, really quick the cover that I did for, that's one of the things I did work on in October. Was I like to have a cover made, and I'll make a cover in Canva just so that I've got like something to kind of reference and give me a feeling and those sorts of things. And I will probably take this cover and save it to Pinterest. So then when I go live, I go ahead and I'll open up my Pinterest boards to my readers. So although my readers could have access to my Pinterest board sooner, I could give them access if they had Pinterest and wanted to look and see like what I was working on. So maybe that would be a nice little reader magnet. No, bonus material. Yeah. So that's my thought with that. So I will go ahead and share this cover that I did. And that is in right here. Oop. Did I not share? No, I didn't. Okay. No. Tab. And then I'll make this big. So this is the cover that I made in Canva, and it's not because the heroine is a gypsy. The hero is the first gargoyle. So if you've already read the past books, you'll know that those are not uncommon characters to have in this world. So I was kind of looking for a gypsy feel, and I kind of did I think the color on the actual cover is probably going to be gold because that's what the other covers are. So this won't be the model by any means, but I do find that if I have kind of a cover to work with, that it helps give me ideas. So the other thing is if I wasn't able to have a cover for the book, like when I go to do the print copy, this could serve as that cover so that it'd be a little different. So you'd have different covers for different editions. So, and I think that is, yeah, I think that's everything that I have. And I see that nobody has joined. So maybe this is going to be a very, very short post, which is totally fine. I don't know that anybody had any questions. I guess the whole reason is, why bother doing Nano if you're not going to participate fully? And I think the answer for me is always just to start a project and get something done before the holidays, because once the holidays hit, after Thanksgiving, I'm kind of shot anyway. I'm focused more on the upcoming holidays, which will be different this year since my parents passed. I don't know how those are going to look this year. They may look very, very different. So I just wanted to go ahead and get, something working, something doing progress on. But like I said, I haven't officially signed up for Nano. I'd love to hear from those of you that have signed up how that process went, because I've heard mixed reviews on some people liking the new Nano site and some people not. So I've never I don't think for probably 2 or 3 years now, I don't know that I've logged into the Nano site, but I participate in all the write-ins that other writers do, which is super easy this year because of the pandemic. You can go ahead and have write-ins with people from all over the world. So whatever your peak writing time is, and mine tends to be, when I was writing younger, it tended to be like after 10 o'clock at night, and I would write 10 to midnight. And now it's sort of like 10 to noon, at 9 to noon. If I can get words in before then, I do get stuff in afternoon, but by 3 o'clock, I'm starting to drag. It's very much like, for me, if I'm writing during the day, it's very much like my corporate job when I used to work, and about 3 o'clock, I'd hit this wall. So that's, I just try and get as much stuff done. And I'm very behind so far on Nano this month, but we'll see. I think with all the tools that I normally use, if I get good writing time in, so if I have writing time from just the space time, like a whole block of a day, then I can get pretty good words in. So usually my word count always is to try and hit 1,000 words a day. That'll definitely drop once we hit December, because then I'm doing more activities and stuff with my husband and maybe my kids or whatever. And my kids who live far away, we're doing online things, not necessarily in-person things. But I have found that if I go ahead and get a bulk of writing done in November, then I can get a little bit done in December. And then sometimes by January, I have something ready to pitch. Maybe it's not fully edited, but I have something that I can pitch that is working pretty good. So, all right, I am going to stop sharing this picture. So there we go. All right. So now we're back there. I'm going to go over here to banners. Does anybody have any questions or comments? You can go ahead and put them below, and they should just pop up for me and I'll be able to see them. So I'll maybe give you guys a few minutes to do that. Actually, I just need to get out of these banners really quick. Here we go. Okay, so now it's not covering my chin or whatever. So yeah, basically I'll go ahead and do some writing. I'm not made up today because I guess I'm going to be taking off here right afterwards. I'm going to pack, and my husband and I I inherited a lake cabin from my parents. And so we're going to do some fixing. Since we work all summer, we're going to go ahead and like repair some stuff or whatever and get that taken care of. So we're going down there for like a long weekend, basically like today. And then we'll come back either maybe Sunday, probably Monday. So he took all the dogs with him except for one, and I'm going to take that dog with me. And then I got to kind of go through my list and see what I got to bring with or whatever for food and those sorts of things, because we don't really keep much down there between stuff. We started keeping some clothes down there that we think we might need. So I think I'm okay there. But yeah, I'm like, oh, I got to pack, I got to pack like socks for every day, because I don't keep that stuff down there. And then yeah, food for every day. So that should be interesting. Pop over to this comment section. So nobody has any comments, and maybe it was just a short little presentation on what we've got going on for Nano. But I think that if you have the opportunity to participate in any of those write-ins, there are authors that do them all year round. One of my favorite is Courtney from the Courtney Project, and she will go ahead and do write-ins, and I will get an amazing amount of writing done. I think one of the things I'll show you really quick is this template that I use for getting writing done, basically. So I have this, I'll just do this one for the working title for The Widow Spy was actually What Charlotte Wants. And so I will pull up, oh shoot, I pulled up the Google Doc. I didn't want to do that. Not to mention, the more stuff I have pulled up, probably the slower this connection is. And so we don't want to do that. So, but yeah, I have a word count tracker where I will go ahead and I'll manage like how many words I write, where I write them. So I could kind of see this. This kind of gave me that idea of, this is where I am able to go ahead and say, okay, my peak writing hours are 9 to noon, Monday through Friday, or Saturday or Sunday, depending on if I've got anything going on. But generally mid-morning writing. That 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock thing that people do are not, they don't usually work very well for me. So I will share this one thing. I'm going to close down. Nope, I'm not going to close that because I think I have to save it later. So I'm going to share this spreadsheet that I have, and we can take a look at that. So Chrome tab, this, share. Okay. Now, if we go ahead and we look here, you will see that I started this is my Regency. So the working title was What Charlotte Wants, and this is the word tracker, and it kind of goes through, this is the beginning count. Basically, these all 784 words were basically this template that I use. And basically I started Charlotte in like February, then didn't touch it until April. So, which is kind of unusual. I'm guessing I think I must have been pitching or something, because that's kind of a pretty long break for me on something that I'm currently working on. Either that, or I decided to like get my early stages down, which maybe that was this. Like I went ahead and got my early stuff down. But yeah, my basic outline between my first thought, which is like I have a scene in my head, and I'll go ahead and write that down on paper, which if you're doing Nano and you're trying to get your word count in, you should totally do these things where you just kind of throw up words on the page. Because you can always edit it in the month of December and January, but you really want to have those word counts early on. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I have basically this is like the time I started, and I used military time, and then like the beginning word count, which is basically this pulled down from here. And this is a Google sheet. You could set this up in Excel or whichever form of spreadsheets that you like. So, and then this is kind of where I only finished chapter 1. Yay. And then this is where I did like Courtney YouTube sprints. So these are sprints that are totally outside of Nano. And I wonder if, let's see if I worked on this during the month of November, and maybe how much I did. I may not have done that much depending on the holiday season. So I did a lot in October, it looks like. So, oh yeah. See, look, I started another Nano project. I bet I started wind resistant last year. And then I picked it up like 11.8 and did the prologue pre-edits. Oh, because I started layering in this spy stuff. That's what all this is. So yeah, and then I got layered through chapter 17. So I'll put notes over here on what I was doing, especially like this. Here's one, there's like edits, there's only 8 words added. So whenever I edit, it's like way less. But on average, when I'm adding added the ballroom scene. Yeah, so this is kind of like, oh yeah, see, and I put side notes over here. So in Word Weaver edit for like prologue pre-edits, this is before I would send it over to my Word Weaver group. So I put in 97 words. And then I did Grammarly. I took out 9 words. And then here's like Word Weaver chapter 1 edits. I ended up taking out 50 words. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go ahead and see, track my stuff. So basically every time when I hit like 1,000 words in a day, I would give myself a sticker, those little stickers I had in the notebook. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to go ahead and put them below. But I have found this extremely helpful in helping me track where my peak times are and what I need to be working on. So I'll use this. I haven't created a template for Curse in the Caravan yet, but I will. And then I will go ahead and track like what my word writing is. I'll give myself stickers when I complete it. I find that tracking my word counts makes me more productive. If this is like an intimidating process to you, then don't do it. I do it because it's a way for me to track words outside of Nano. I haven't used the form in years, but some people like when you do that in the NaNoWriMo, believe it's nanowrimo.org. When you do that out there, it will go ahead and give you like little badges every time you hit like, I think 1,000 words, 5,000 words, 10,000 words. So basically once you hit mile markers in, then it'll go ahead and give you like these little badges and stuff like that. I do it differently. I go ahead and track it in this spreadsheet. Once I have my stickers where I've hit like 1,000 words, I'm getting like a little sticker. So I actually used to do one, I think it was for every 500 words. But I mean, if you're struggling to get words anyway, or you don't write very long, like you can't write very many words, drop that down to like 100 sticker. Every 100 words you give yourself a sticker, or 50 or 10 or whatever. So, I mean, whatever motivates you to go ahead and keep working on your novel, because this is a chunk of time where I'm like, I get a chance to go ahead and work on something new, especially like if I'm stuck on one of my other novels, which is not the case. I'm not stuck on Wind Resistant. So I do need to finish that kind of before I start my Nano project. But I feel much better that I have already started it, like I'd already had pieces of it written. So that's a good thing. And I'll go ahead and create this spreadsheet and track it in there. And I think it'll be a good thing. The other thing is, since I'm going to the lakes for 4 days, with the exception of a craft call that I have on Saturday, I am going to be probably every night writing. I have some editing to do for this winter anthology for another writing group, and I'm going to take those evening hours when it's kind of quiet and there's not as much going on, but I'm going to take those evening hours and go ahead and edit or write or do whatever. So I'm still trying to figure out if my Chromebook doesn't like it when it doesn't have an internet connection. It doesn't work as well. It used to, but now it's like, no. And so I'm like, okay, that's not so great. But I'll go ahead and I'm debating bringing my very, very old laptop and putting it on a flash drive and kind of transferring it back and forth, or just putting it on the flash drive for this. And I haven't decided yet, but I'll probably decide right before I go based on what I'll pack. So that's something. But yeah, I've got editing to do, and I just need to maybe downsize or download stuff so I can work on it offline. And I think that'll be okay. So I think that's all I have. It doesn't look like anybody had any questions. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to post this next banner here for you guys. Let me get out of the stop sharing screen here. Our next lunch will be December 4th at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So go ahead and pencil me in for lunch.